and welcome to my reading vlog for Skulduggery Plays a Mind Full of Murder. I have so far done a reading vlog for every single book within the Skulduggery Pleasant universe, and I am not stopping now. This is the first one in the next trilogy that is part of the overarching series. We are following Skulduggery and Valkyrie as they are trying to hunt down a sorcerer who is killing mortals. That's all I really know about this one, so I don't really have any sort of predictions or anything. I will say this is going to contain massive spoilers for the series that has already been released, and then also this book itself. And yeah, I don't really think I have anything else to say apart from I have the signed edition. This is what the end paper looks like, and this is what the sprayed edges look like. I'm also wearing my Skulduggery t-shirt as well because I feel like that's a little bit of a tradition now with these vlogs, and I don't really think I've got anything else to say, so let's get into reading this because I quite frankly cannot wait a moment longer. This has been in my house for nearly 24 hours now, and I've only just had a chance to start reading it, so I'm not waiting any longer. I'm going to get into this, and I'm so ridiculously excited. So let's get reading, and let's see what this book is going to give us. So I've just read the first chapter, and we are dealing with a guy called Gavin, who has just basically been murdered by a sorcerer by the sounds of it, because the car's just gone crushed. And the whole time this is working like a horror movie, like a slasher movie, because Gavin was literally watching a slasher movie in the cinema, and it sounded very much like the last Scream movie actually, with the saying the young girl shoots the guy in the face, and he topples over and she goes down the stairs and all the rest of it. It sounds very much like the final bout in the Scream 6, or the last Scream movie anyway. And then he's like trying to get through the car park because he's just had a phone call from someone, and his phone has rung the Halloween theme tune, funnily enough, and I'm like, I like those movies. So that was quite interesting as well, because I was like, this is working to my slasher brain quite well. Anyway, but he's, his wife's, Jessica, supposedly in danger. There's this killer, this kind of thing, and he's trying desperately to get home. And then he's just been stopped outside by this car that's parked in front of him, kind of thing. And the guy's gotten out, and it says, the driver got out. At first, Gavin thought he was wearing a hat. A woolen hat, maybe, but it wasn't a hat. Woolen or otherwise. It was a mask, a black mask made from plastic or something that covered his whole head, a mask with a blank expressionless face like a mannequin's. Only the eyes showed any humanity, or the eyes behind those narrow eye holes at any rate. And I'm like, that is so like slasher movie with the mask and everything. I'm like, Derek Landy likes a slasher movie. You can tell that just from this first chapter. I love that because that is so like Michael Myers, Ghostface, all of those classic like obviously as well then Friday the 13th, Jason, that was his name. Jason? Yeah, Jason, because Freddy Krueger is Nightmare on Elm Street, he doesn't wear a mask, but obviously Jason does in Friday the 13th, so that's quite interesting. But Derek Landy knows his slashers. Derek Landy definitely knows his slashers, and I love that. So there's so far been 2 murders of 2 seemingly random victims who are mortals, and then also there's been an attack on a detective avant-garde, and I'm like, Derek Landy loves naming these sorcerer characters, you can tell. But anyway, he was like a sorcerer and he got attacked, and they're now at one of the victims' houses, and they've had to bring a sensitive with them so the sensitive can like calm down the victim's family, this kind of thing. And like Skulduggery's going, I really wish we didn't have to bring these sensitives, and Valkyrie's like, I ain't doing the psychic stuff anymore because it gives me splitting headaches and it causes possession, and we all know what happened the last time Valkyrie was possessed. And Valkyrie's just done their first bit of banter because she's gone, you just want me to use those abilities because you've come to the realisation that sensitives don't like you. And Skulduggery goes, they don't like anyone whose mind they can't read. And Valkyrie's like, so it's got nothing to do with you mocking them right to their faces. And Skulduggery's gone, I don't mock all of them. I never mock Sandra or Finbar. I don't mock Philomena. I just mock the pretentious ones. The ones who annoy me. God, they're so annoying. Everything about them annoys me. Especially their shoes. It's just like, I love that banter. I have missed that banter between the two of them and these weird conversations that they have, and just knowing that Skulduggery is just antagonising everyone as he always does. Just brilliant. Love it. I have missed this so much. It's been a year. It's been actually a year. It's been nearly exactly a year actually since I read the last full Skulduggery book. Obviously there was bad magic in between, but it's been so long since I've read like something like this, and I'm just so happy to be back in this world again and seeing them bantering and things, and also to see them actually tackling an actual murder investigation, because usually these two are off saving the world or trying to end the world or whatever it happens to be. So it's really nice to see them just for once actually solving a murder. And also I should mention as well, thinking about it, in the previous chapter where we're seeing things from the point of view of the partner of the detective who got attacked, who is still just about clinging to life at the moment. She's describing Valkyrie, and Valkyrie's like 32 now, but she doesn't look much older than like 22 because she's obviously stopped aging, and they're talking about how she's still this really tall, strong woman and things like this. And she generally looks the same. She's just got a slight wave in her hair, but at the same time her eyes show how old she is, even if the rest of her doesn't, because there's a haunted nature to her eyes, and I like that little detail there, because obviously Valkyrie has been through so much, and she has just mentioned, even though it's raining, at least there is rain to fall, there's a sky for it to fall from, there's a Dublin for it to fall onto, this kind of thing. So I like that we are still getting like just little hints, even just 24 pages in, that there has been major things that have happened in the past, and that Valkyrie may still be affected by them and feel guilty for them, things like this. And I'm really glad that's in there, so very excited to see how this is going to go from here, but definitely enjoying this so far. Definitely enjoying this so far. So now we're at the school, and we are dealing with a character called Winter and Mia, and they've also just Mia's just been having a conversation with a guy called Tia, and Tia is the son of Eliza Scorn and potentially Baron Vengeance, despite the fact that Baron Vengeance has been dead for 19 years and he's only 15, but interesting. And this is definitely the type of character that I would have definitely fancied when I was that age, definitely, because they're saying he's tall, gorgeous, angst-ridden existentialist. He walked through school with a battered dog-eared copy of The Catcher in the Rye in his back pocket. He's got flicky hair, all of this kind of thing, and I'm like, yeah, he was broody as well, so I'm like, yeah, that would have been my type as a teenager. So these two, like Mia and Winter, having this conversation, I'm like, yeah, that would have been me and my best friend at that age. If a boy like that had been talking to me, maybe not the whole Catcher in the Rye thing is not my thing, but the tall, dark and broody with the flicky hair, yeah, that would have been me. That totally would have been me at that age. So that's just great. That is absolutely brilliant. So I'm excited to see who these two are. And they've also just mentioned as well Alice, who is Valkyrie's sister, and just saying like she's quite sort of snobby and stuck up, and sort of like, oh, my sister's saved the world, this kind of thing, and sort of doesn't really pay attention to anybody she doesn't deem worthy. So I'm a little bit like, Alice, behave, don't be mean, this kind of thing, but we'll see where that goes. But I'm excited to see that we're still in the school and we're still getting bits from the school as well. That's just great. But excited what we're going to do with potentially Baron Vengeance's son, and where Winter, Mia and Alice are all going to sort of weave into this, because we wouldn't be getting POV chapters if they weren't involved somewhere. So